one even watches my crap. So let me try to adjust this thing, adjust this whole camera setup. I'm gonna be doing another reaction, another live reaction to Dan Schneider, Doty, aka Doty Dan Schneider. The guy who produced iCarly and Victorious and all that crap. Um, just a little warning. I may say some things that may offend or quote unquote trigger you guys, especially when it comes to specific people, because they're I'm just not gonna say it. I'm just not gonna say it because I don't want to. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I know some people who are those guys, and I just don't want to be. I don't want to. I don't want to be like that. But anyway, so I'm gonna be reacting to Patrick CC's Dirty Dan Snyder. I already watched part of this like a little while back. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. It's disturbing how no one knew about that. Like everyone fell for it. Everyone fell for it. No one saw this coming. And the people who did see it coming, like the actors and the parents who forced their children to act, they're ignorant. They're ignorant. I shouldn't say the actors. They were helpless. They were minors. They were freaking minors making out with guys in their 20s and showing their feet. It's weird. It's freaking weird. But anyway, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know. I mean, obviously my live stream setup is not the same as it once was in Texas. Several months, actually a year ago. I don't know. I don't really like live streams because I'm so used to editing all my videos and crap. I don't know why I still have this receipt from in my pocket from In-N-Out, because I went to In-N-Out earlier. In-N-Out's really good food. Look at this little fox. Amazon, believe it or not. Freaking Amazon. I have two of them. Have this little guy. I did an ASMR video. I highly suggest you go check it out. I'm not good with that stuff, but it did kind of help me like tone it down and relax for a minute. So, I could do some. But anyway, moving on. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Is it a coincidence that three convicted pedophiles were working at the largest children's television network during the peak of its success and popularity?
No, not at all. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm gonna do this for like an hour. If my phone dies, then but how would I know? I don't know. I'm worried. My phone's like 40%. I don't know, like, if my phone dies, I don't know what's gonna happen in the freaking live stream. So you know what? Actually, real quick, I'm gonna go on YouTube Studio and just make sure this thing. I need to like freaking upload a thumbnail and everything. I was gonna upload on the post section or whatever it's called, like a little meme, but I still need to edit that. Okay, yeah, Doty Dan Snyder, Doty Dan Snyder. What's a good description? No one ever saw this coming. Get it? And anyway.
What if I told you that there was also a convicted pedophile managing the children that were often cast on the network's shows? What if I told you that many of the underage girls were forced to kiss men over the age of 18
Yep.
on camera?
Yep.
And then what if you found out that multiple of these
It's called statutory rape. And I'm not going to mention anything about that because whatever I may say could possibly be illegal. So
victims grew up and were caught performing inappropriate sexual acts with children themselves, repeating the cycle of abuse. These are not rumors. These are facts. When you combine these facts with...
Now, they're rumors, according to all the producers and Dan Schneider himself. Dan Schneider couldn't even admit this. He couldn't even admit any of this. I mean, why would he? Why would Dan Schneider? I think he went to jail, too. I think, if I remember correctly.
Realization that many of the jokes, physical comedy, outfits, and even random pieces of the set were sexual innuendos. That's
Okay, what is that supposed to mean? What is that? Let me see.
physical comedy, outfits, and even random pieces of
8 equals D. I don't know what that's supposed to
the set
mean.
were sexual innuendos.
Anyway, I
At
could
some
jump
point,
ahead. Look at this Jew. Yeah, that's just a disclaimer. Just a disclaimer, guys. If you find that topic to be very sensitive and triggering, just don't watch. But I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, these people that run Hollywood, they've got to go. We need to do something now.
any horrible predicament I choose. Dan Schneider was a child actor
They shouldn't be allowed to produce films at all. They shouldn't be allowed to.
himself, most notable for his role as Dennis on Head of the Class. During this time, he and his co star Brian Robbins became great friends. The pair would
Yeah,
later
yeah. Great friends. Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah.
asked to co-host the second annual
Doing a
Kids' Choice
little
Awards by
sucking and
Nickelodeon producer
yeah.
Albie Hecht. The three men struck a friendship and frequently discussed creating a project together. By 1993, Hecht had become a high-level executive at Nickelodeon and challenged Robbins to pitch him a children's television series that their new production studio could pitch to Nickelodeon. At the time, Nickelodeon was not yet the powerhouse it would become. The network struggled to become profitable in the 80s as they were losing millions of dollars per year. One year they
Not until SpongeBob came around. And then Nickelodeon got huge.
were actually the lowest.
And now SpongeBob sucks because they ran out of jokes and it's just gone on. It's just gone on for way too long. It's just like Family Guy and freaking South Park and The Simpsons. They're only gonna be funny and amusing for so long, And then there will be a point, just like Sesame Street. Sesame Street, everyone freaked out because they gone woke. It's not because of that. It's because they've been going on for too long. Like it's got to end eventually. Like it's got to end, and they only used all the woke stuff as a means to entertain kids, which I don't know. I don't know what to think. I no comments.
Viewed network out of all US cable channels. Early 90s cartoons like Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy were allowing the network to pick up higher.
Ren and Stimpy. Oh boy, that guy John, freaking however you pronounce the last name. They're all weirdos. So clearly, clearly they're all weirdos. But they're all like they do stuff with minors. They do stuff with minors, and they get in huge trouble for it.
Viewership, but their live action shows struggled. So Brian recruited Dan.
Or no, they don't get in trouble. They get away. That's what I meant to say. They get away with it.
They came up with a sketch comedy show like Saturday Night Live, but for children, called All That. Dan wrote in his personal blog, "We did a nationwide talent search and got very lucky. Every kid we ended up hiring for the original All That cast turned out to be fantastic. Josh Serber, Keenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell, Katrina Johnson, Lori Beth Denberg, Angelique Bates, and Alyssa Reyes." Dan recalled that the show didn't test well and that the network felt like kids wouldn't like a sketch comedy show, but they took a chance on him, and the show immediately became a huge success for Nickelodeon as soon as it aired. All That would go on to have 10 seasons and become one of the most culturally significant teen Nickelodeon shows of all time. Imagine how—
I don't know. I've never watched it.
how proud the executives were of Dan's performance. They were—
Look at Fat Dan. Look at Fat Dan. I want to freaking. Oh well, not. Oh damn. Wish I could zoom in. Look how fat he is. He looks like J.D. Vance. Oh, I'm a fat Catholic. Oh, look at me, married to a dumbass Indian. Oh, yeah, we must invade Iran. Yeah, we must invade Iran.
finally getting the big break they needed, and Nickelodeon
No
was
Temple.
coming closer to becoming a profitable network. The only thing that could ruin their momentum would be some sort of scandal or reports of child abuse. And
That kid looks like BB. That kid looks like BB Netanyahu. He looks like BB Netanyahu. This just looks like a fat rights acceptance piece of toad. Everyone else is black, of course. These three are black. Oh, he must be the father of. I don't know. So I'm making very racial accusations.
That's exactly what happened, according to Angelique Bates, who was only 12 years old when the abuse began. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor.
No,
Ask if whether you
screw
think
you with
it's
your
2 picks
dumbass.
and 3 extra
Sorry,
money,
I
or
just hate
smooth and make
sponsors.
your own picks with
It's all,
Underdog.
it's all a big scam.
From 1992 to 1996, I was a series regular on Nickelodeon's All That. I was only 12 years old, and that's when my nightmare began. I was physically, mentally, emotionally abused in front of the producers and cast members, and sometimes they could even hear me yelling.
Acting should be fun for these kids, but it's not. I mean, they're first of all they're treated like adults, which is fine, whatever. But like the mentality of the producers and the casting people and stuff like that. The what am I trying to think of? The filmmakers, all of that. It's just they don't really view them as kids, and they kind of take advantage of that, and so they treat them like they would be adults, and it's just mentally it's too much. I mean, they're so young and processing things, and they're going to school, and they should have a normal social life where they don't talk to a bunch of freaking 20, 30, 40-year-old grown fat ass men all day long.
But nothing was done to help me until approximately 1996 when CPS was called. And
Yeah, but CPS is gonna do jack. CPS is only good for if it's like a Violet Foe situation where it's all fake, like they're acting, but Child Protective Services is called, and they really take they really take it seriously, and they almost William almost that's why Violet Foe, that's why that channel almost ended. I'm surprised McJuggerNut, like, no, because McJuggernuggets ain't freaking child, but um no, Child Protective Services they're only good for basically child trafficking. They take the kids. They supposed to be protecting the kids, taking them out of hostile, dangerous situations. All they do is they take them out, stuff like that, and they put them to like orphanages and adoption centers, which is even worse, or God knows what, mental hospital. I don't know, but
with
it's
CPS
Child Protective Services is a scam, and I don't think our taxpayer money should be going for that.
came, I was pressured by all the adults that were set to protect me to stay silent. I did, and I have. But I can no longer stay silent, and I won't.
Okay, sure,
But
yeah,
it is
right.
dates.
Like
And
this,
I'm
like all this ain't acting.
an adult survivor of child abuse, and this is my story.
Angelique is the first known survivor who has spoken up against Nickelodeon's corrupt practices, and her story is extremely important because it also highlights the parents' involvement in such abuse. Angelique recalls Nickelodeon producers being upset that her mom was constantly supervising her.
They started having a bullseye for her was that she was one of the parents that was not going to leave me unattended on set because by law, parents are supposed to be there. So
Yeah, and they don't want the parents to be there, so they could rape them. So they could rape them. Because Dan Schneider happens to be the J word, and he's the G word's chosen, so he is able to get away with these things.
they didn't like that fact that she wouldn't leave me.
Some parents would leave their kids unsupervised while they work. They trusted the producers and did not want to interfere with their child's opportunity to
Hell no, hell no, hell no. If I was a parent, hell no, not at all.
build a career for themselves. Angelique's mother was not like that, and she even recalled a time where someone made a sexual advance towards her, and her mother threatened to sue the network. Unfortunately, Angelique's mother was also physically and emotionally abusive towards her, so she wasn't safe on set or at home.
Double ass story with my mom. Mom's beating my ass, but then she's like protecting me from Nickelodeon all at the same time. Like she blocked all that. Like I said, the reason why they started hating her was because she was blocking me from that and because she was turning down sexual advances from it.
Angelique slowly
Well,
received
I think she was also abusive towards her because she wanted her. It was like a financial gain. It was a financial gain for her specifically. And I understand that because sometimes these parents are struggling and stuff. But really, if your child is on set and is being sexually abused, I mean, like, how far can you go with that? You know,
less and less
like,
work.
when are you gonna take a stance and be like, no, I'm not gonna let you guys do this. I'm not even gonna sue because suing won't do jack. So I'm just gonna we're leaving. Like, cutting the contract. No.
Due to her mother's involvement and believes she was blackballed by Nickelodeon because she and her mother could not be controlled. And because no wrongdoings were ever officially reported, all that ratings continued to soar. The series propelled the careers of cast members Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell, who starred in the first All That spin-off, Kenan and Kel. The show originally aired on Nickelodeon for 4 seasons from 1996 to 2001 and was equally as successful as All That, winning the Favorite TV Show award at the 1998 Kids' Choice Awards.
Never heard of it, never seen it. Oh, I did see that picture though.
Classic film,
Good Burger.
However, with Schneider in charge, not much changed behind the scenes. Taisha Hampton, ex-wife of Kel Mitchell, spoke out on suspicious behavior she experienced on Nickelodeon sets. Taisha was married to Mitchell from 1999 to 2005, but they originally met on the set of Good Burger where she was casted as an extra. She too backs up the claims that parents were not around.
And these parents, like Kel's parents, were not with him. All these parents of the kids on the show, their parents were not with them.
Separate.
Yeah, even if they're like 15, 16, I don't know. I wouldn't trust the producers, man.
Children from the parents. That seems to be a theme with Nickelodeon. There are 2 main reasons why they likely did this. Firstly, it seems like
less control and more abusive practices.
Nickelodeon was trying to take advantage of
more sexual advantages being taken.
Of labor laws in Florida, where the shows were filmed.
Oh yeah,
according
that
to
too.
The 1998 Florida Child
Florida
Labor
freaking sucks. You can't even own assault. You can't even own assault weapons. Can't even freaking. I don't know. I'm gonna look up dumb laws of Florida. Dumb laws of Florida. But yeah, no, you can't own assault weapons. You can't freaking open carry. What? A ban on unmarried women parachuting on Sunday. What? Elephant parking. What? Horse theft penalty. No sleeping under dryers. Oh yeah, and freaking what was that bill, like, everyone claims it was like anti-LGBT, let me see. Sorry, I don't do politics anymore, so. Oh, great, there's more. Okay. Don't say gay. Yeah. I think that's what it's called. I think it was pretty reasonable too. It was like, yeah, it was prohibiting classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity from kindergarten through 3rd grade, which is just unacceptable. I'm sorry. It's just unacceptable. Now, should kindergartners know that gay people exist? Yes, absolutely. They should know. I mean, they know. They know that straight people exist. Might as well know that gay people exist. But it's like, that's all. That's all they should really know. And then there was also this thing with like the furry cons, and anime, all that stuff. Yeah, Megaplex, where you had to be 18 plus. I don't know, man. I neither agree nor disagree. I just think, yes, the fandom, the furries and fandom, and the cons, anime, comic, all that. It's great. It's a great way to meet new people and have all these really cool interactions and experience all this fun stuff. But I just don't think little children should be. I mean, especially if they're having freaking adult panel, like right there, you know. I don't think so. And then, not to mention, you got that the Vegas Con, the Furry Vegas Con, 21 plus. They did that on purpose too, for very specific reasons, which I totally, completely understand.
minors aged 15 and under could work 40 hours per week as long as it was during a holiday or summer vacation. 16 and 17-year-olds who graduated from high school or had their GED did not have to abide by any work hour restrictions. A school superintendent could also issue a waiver of hours, and there is no law that specifically states a parent must supervise their kid while their child is working. However, regardless of what the code says, child labor experts say the laws were rarely enforced or penalized when there was a violation. In 1992, Jeffrey Newman of the National Child Labor Committee said that child labor today is at a point where violations are greater than at any point during the 1930s. One report found that the act
especially illegal immigrants or undocumented, whatever, refugees. None of that stuff applies to them. They could work freaking 80 hours a week and get paid $5 an hour. Like, shoot. These politicians don't care. They don't give a crap.
average business could expect to be inspected once every 50 years or so. Inspectors spend only about 5% of their time looking into child labor problems. Businesses across the entire nation were taking advantage of loose child labor laws in the 90s. Do you think Nickelodeon was any different? Children are more susceptible to exploitation and abuse in the workplace due to their vulnerability and lack of bargaining power. Think of how easy it would be for a TV producer to torment and gaslight a young actor.
Dan Schneider, Mr. Dan Schneider over here. Dan Schneider, I'm a fat Jew. Look at me, I'm a fat Jew. Has a weird foot fetish.
If they weren't getting their lines right or performing to the producer's standards.
I wonder if Dan Schneider knew Jeffrey Epstein. New conspiracy. Dan, the only reason why I actually watched a video on Twitter. It's fake. It's AI, but it's really good. In just kind of making fun of the whole situation, or maybe like exposing it in a way. But Jeffrey Epstein, he meets up with Dan Schneider at Nickelodeon, and basically the only reason why Dan Schneider had as much access as he did to Nickelodeon as producer and all that stuff, and as well as the whole foot fetish thing, iCarly, all that stuff, was specifically because of Jeffrey Epstein, and he was getting funding from him.
If their parents were there on set witnessing their child get scolded, they might cause a fuss. Producers want as little friction as possible, so it's not crazy to think that they probably cast talent with parents who stay out of their way. But once they do get the parents out of the way, what do they do with the kids?
Because we would get into clubs, and we were young, like 16, 17 years old, we'd be in clubs.
With the producers of Nickelodeon. Remind you, it's a kids' TV show organization.
The people on the set in Florida made us fake IDs. And so then I started thinking, I was like, wait, what?
Because they want to seduce you and make out and have sex.
Orgies, and they were talking about, like, people on the set would show, like, pornos, and they'd give us alcohol.
Those are kids, like young kids on that set.
Yeah, these are grown 30-year-old men and women.
Showing this to the kids.
16, 17, 15, 14-year-old kids. But another one of the cast members was like cleaning Dan Schneider's car with a
Sorry. For a second, even though I've already seen this part, I thought she was gonna say it was this 14-year-old kid cleaning Dan Schneider's cock. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I would not be surprised if that actually happened. After he cleaned the car, of course.
She had been 15, 16 years old. There were other times they would have like parties where the parents wouldn't be there, and they'd give us alcohol. And another one of the people on the cast was giving blowjobs to the producers.
Wow, one of the kids.
And they were kids.
Tracy Brown, whose son Brian Hearn was cast on All That for season 7 and 8, tells a similar story from a mother's perspective.
Because there are many times on that set where they're like, hey, we want to invite Brian to a party. And I'm like, hey, just Brian? And they go, yes. And I'm like, no. And they don't like moms that take control of their child. But I had heard things. So guess what? You don't need to like me. And they were like, well, bye-bye. And I was like, let's go. I was not going to do anything for the money. Like, y'all need to understand.
Oh, wow. So the kid, wow, okay. Yeah, good for you. Good for you, Tracy Brown.
I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, yeah, sure, as a black woman, but regardless, good on you, good on you. Kid, it's bad enough that a lot of teenagers tend to, go that route, party, drugs, all that stuff. But it's even worse when the producers are forcing them to, giving them fake IDs and shit.
That might compromise my son, not even for the income.
But many even suspect that the producer's perversion may have been scripted into the shows, starting with Kyra on Kenan and Kel, who was just 12 years old but was always trying to flirt and make sexual advances on the much older Kel. She would refer to him as her boyfriend despite him being obviously uninterested because she is a child. At the same time that Kenan and Kel were huge stars...
I mean, it's not too bad, honestly. But at least, looking in a different context. But yeah, it's kind of a little icky.
One All That cast member emerged and became the most iconic Nickelodeon star of all time, Amanda Bynes. At just 10 years old, Amanda stood out amongst her peers and showcased her comedic talents through various characters and sketches. As a preteen, she was maturely confident and comfortable on screen. According to Leon Frierson, who was cast on All That since season 1, Schneider showed clear favoritism for Bynes. We had to go to school on set. There would be times when Amanda would just be missing, he recalled in the docuseries. A lot of times we would hear she would be with Dan, pitching ideas and writing. We see them grow closer to each other on set. He continued, Amanda Bynes' parents were very hands-on in her career, specifically her dad. His presence was always felt. A big part of that was his relationship with Dan Schneider. Like we said before, hands-on parents were not wanted on Nickelodeon's set. That is, unless they are bending to the interests of Dan Schneider. Despite the favoritism, Dan never...
Wow, sorry, quick pause. Wow, I actually got notified from one of the group. Wow, I'm actually really surprised. What do I want to say about this? Isn't Amanda Bynes the one who got all messed up, the druggie, all that? Well, Miley Cyrus did too, but Ariana Grande. Have you seen her? Like, what is going on? I'm sorry. What is going on with her? Especially after the freaking Wicked movie, or like the new one that just came out like a year ago. What is going on with her? Sorry, it's Facebook. Let me see. Will this work? God damn it. Sorry, no, it doesn't. I mean, you could still, Taylor Swift. I mean, what is going on with her and all these freaking actresses and actors, and they're all being sexually abused and molested, and Justin Bieber? Like, what is going on with that guy? Like, what is happening? Does Jeffrey Epstein literally run everything? Because I'm kind of starting to believe that.
planned on giving Amanda her own show because he claims he never wanted to be on.
And of course, our lovely president, who is intentionally trying to cause a full-blown, all-out war with Iran, which we should have never gone involved with because it's not our war, it's Israel's war. The gas prices, jobs, no one can find jobs, homelessness is getting worse, houses, the price of houses, the real estate is going up, crazy amount. I lost my train of thought, but what was I even talking about? I don't know.
On children's television.
See, that's why I hate doing live streams, because I just talk and I get off and then I don't even remember what I'm talking about. But yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, no. The main point is this dude and all these people in our freaking government, they worship the man. They love him. They love him. He's still alive, but for a fact, he's running about somewhere. He's still alive.
He initially created and helped produce a series called Guys Like Us for the United Paramount Network at their primetime 8 p.m. slot. Guys Like Us revolves around two young men, Sean Barker and Jared Harris. The pair are forced to look after Jared's 6-year-old brother, Maestro, who comes to live with them after Jared's father accepts a job opportunity overseas.
Why don't you go wash your hands?
They're clean.
Well, then go wash your feet.
Dan's sitcom designed for adults was an utter failure as he was not funny nor creative enough to keep adults entertained. It was canceled after one season due to abysmal ratings, so he shifted his focus to creating a show around Amanda. The Amanda Show was a sketch comedy television program that had a very
And then these actors and actresses, they grow up so fast. Like they lose their childhood so quickly, especially like after being sexually abused and raped.
look, feel, and comedic style as All That and Kenan and Kel. Schneider struck gold again. The Amanda Show became the highest rated live-action television program on Nickelodeon during its run. Amanda portrayed various characters that would become iconic, such as Judge Trudy.
Oh yeah, Judge Judy's a badass, honestly. Sad that she died. She was old, but
Crazy Courtney, and Amanda's obsessive fan, Penelope Taint.
My name is Penelope Tate. I'm Amanda's #1 fan, please.
And it took us 20 years to realize that her last name was a sexual innuendo. People also think
Wait,
that
what?
her catchphrase, Amanda Please, was built off the phrase, a man to please, which would be
That's not funny. Not funny. Dan Schneider is he was a genius. That is some really good stuff he made up. That is good. Oh, yeah, I love Amanda Bynes. I don't know why I did that.
a deep, detailed level of innuendo that it's kind of hard to believe. However, as this video goes on, it just seems more and more possible.
Can't Dan just like people of his age? You know? Like I get it, like children, they're so young and wholesome and I'm not trying to defend pedophilia, but I can understand why they lean towards that path in a sense, because I mean, children, like they're so young and vulnerable and smooth skinned, and
People today also believe that her sketch called Amanda's
she looks a lot older than she actually is.
Jacuzzi may have been inappropriate since the whole concept was her as a 13-year-old interviewing mostly grown
Yeah, and she looks like she's freaking 18.
men in a hot tub. And of course, another foot joke.
Is it also true that you can put both of your feet inside your mouth at the same time?
I don't know. No.
Even Dan decided to jump in the
Not a funny joke.
jacuzzi with Amanda.
Why?
Today my special guest is the executive producer
Well, at least they're wearing clothes, I guess.
of the Amanda Show.
Not to defend it or anything like that.
Schneider.
Right.
Yeah, you're the executive producer of the show.
Yes, I'm the executive producer and the head writer.
People believe Dan was almost
Honestly, I would have loved to meet Mr. Dan. Hey, Dan Schneider. How are you? Oh, I'm doing good. I love my foot fetish. Feet are good. What is wrong with you? What is generally wrong with you? How dare you insulting my foot fetish? You need some help. You need some mental. Get out of here. Freaking shoot him back of the head.
bragging by creating lightly sexual conduct into his kids' shows, like the Spitballer 5000, which was a phallic object that the kids had to blow into to launch a giant spitball at someone. Behind the scenes footage
What?
indicates that Dan and Amanda were very close,
Oh my
which is why it's
gosh.
shocking that The Amanda Show abruptly ended in 2002, just 3 years after it aired on Nickelodeon. In an interview with The Times, Bynes explained that she decided to leave for other opportunities. I was having fun, but at 15, you don't want to be doing what you did when you were 12. Schneider also commented on her exit with, I've seen kids in her position experiment with drugs and be too promiscuous, but Amanda has avoided all of that. My wife, who knows her, says she's almost like Marsha.
Yeah, disturbing enough that Dan Schneider was actually married and his wife was okay with all this. Because they were getting paid by Jeffrey and Maxwell.
Brady, in that she's so clean cut and wholesome. This quote seems characteristically odd from Dan. Like she was just talking about transitioning to more mature roles like her sitcom What I Like About You, and he had to bring up drugs and sex for some reason. Many years later, cast members would come
Because
out
it's
and
true, a lot of kids at that age get into drugs and sex.
speak about how they perceived Amanda behind the scenes. Actress Chelsea Brummett, who co-starred on All That, recalled, she was closed off to everyone. You'd ask her a question and she'd give you a quick answer to end the conversation. She was always defiant with her dad, but she tried to hide things from her dad. She always seemed like she was trying to hide things. they would butt heads. This recountment does line up with the timeline.
Yeah, because she was being sexually abused by Dan Schneider, and she didn't want anyone to find out about that.
3, where Amanda sought to be emancipated from her parents at just 17 years old. In June
What the
of
hell does that
2003,
even mean,
Amanda's
man?
agent,
Oh, like being freed from... Wow, okay, Jesus.
and lawyer were all abruptly fired by her parents. The young star, now 17, was seeking legal emancipation from her parents, who were furious when they discovered that the reps had concealed this fact from them. Unfortunately, Amanda was not able to successfully get emancipated. During this rough patch in her life, Bynes reportedly leaned on Schneider and his wife, Lisa Lillian, for support. She was spending a lot of time with us, said Lillian, but she never left her family's house. This direct quote from Dan's wife is strong evidence that Dan and Amanda were...
Strong evidence that his wife is a fucking retard. Like, seriously, like, how could anyone love this guy? I love him from the bottom of my heart. Bitch, shut the... You only like him because he's making a crap ton of money.
Amanda has spoken
To rub it all over your face.
Strongly against her father, and maybe at the time looked at Schneider as a replacement father figure. Dan
I am a replacement father figure for you. Now smell my feet. I love the smell of stinking odor.
recently recounted a night where Amanda ran away from home.
This is the interview I was talking about.
Well after midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning, phone rang. I answered. It was Amanda. She was upset. She was in distress. She had some conflict with her parents, I think her father, and she called me. I was immediately concerned about her safety. I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up...
Yeah, well, you only cared about certain specific people. Mostly people of your interest. I'm not saying that you're just purely a cold-blooded psychopath, but kind of are, you know? Kind of
As
are.
much as people blame Dan for the downfall of Amanda's career, or claim that he had suspicious involvement that's deeper and more inappropriate, throughout Amanda's whole life and numerous public spirals, she never blamed or accused Dan Schneider of anything. All of her anger and horrible accusations were towards her biological father. However, the cloud of mystery and potentially inappropriate behavior surrounding Amanda, as well as her obviously broken family life, seemed to be a common gray area Dan found himself in with his stars. Over the years, some of the most prominent stars like Jamie Lynn Spears, Jeanette McCurdy, and Ariana Grande all had absent fathers. On one hand, you can blame the parents. On another, you could look at Dan as a predatory opportunist.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a little bit of both. But there was
Because it is a little bit of both. And then you got this guy over here. I am high on crack cocaine.
Convicted predator who worked underneath Dan Schneider, Jason Handy.
Yeah, where the hell's EDP Watch when you need them the most?
An assistant who worked on all that. And
Like, bro, I want freaking Dion to expose this crap.
Show exchanged email addresses and phone numbers with parents and kids who thought he was a friendly and helpful presence on set. You thought, oh, I could be friends with this person, said MJ, the mother of a former actress on The Amanda Show, who was identified as Brandy. The mother was mortified when she saw her 11-year-old daughter looking at a graphic email from Handy.
It was a picture of him naked.
God. These Jews, man. Sorry. But it's true. And Nickelodeon, it's Hollywood, man. They don't care.
Masturbating. And he said he had sent it to her because he wanted her to see that he was thinking of her.
No. 11? 14, 15 is bad enough. 11? Sorry. You got mental rehabilitation for the rest of your life. I'm sorry. Or maybe Sean had. Who knows?
Daughter left the entertainment industry after that email. Andy was arrested in April of 2003 after law enforcement received a tip about him. When the police investigated his home, they found over 1,700 images of young girls in erotic poses, as well as 7 videos on CD files of children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. In Handy's personal diary, he wrote sentences like, "I am a pedophile full-blown." He added, "I have really been giving into my desire for little girls these past few weeks." And then he detailed his day-to-day struggle on how he could find a victim that he could sexually assault. In 2004, Handy was sentenced to 6 years...
Basically rape.
prison after being convicted on 2 felony counts, one of lewd acts on a child and one of distributing sexually explicit material by email, as well as on a misdemeanor charge related to sexual exploitation of a child. Many of you are probably thinking 6 years is not enough, and surprise, surprise, he got out.
No, I agree. And honestly, jail is not the correct option. It should be not mental asylums. I'm not for like the mental asylums from the 1940s. Like, no, that freaking lobotomy, no, we can't do that. Like, that, clearly it didn't work. Obviously, lobotomies don't work. We need more mental hospitals. We need to go like Sweden, like Norway, Scandinavia, where we just have mental, because it's like these people, they're just gonna get worse and worse when they go to jail or prison, because prison ain't gonna do anything for them. In fact, it's gonna their desires are gonna be even stronger. So mental hospitals where they can be checked, surveyed 24/7. That's not a violation of your right to privacy, because at this point they're like everyone should be free, even freaking pedophiles in some way, shape, or form. But like, just being out in the day-to-day world, you've shown that you don't have the ability to do that as a not okay, not sane, dysfunctional person.
And in 2014,
mentally
committed
unstable,
2 other
mentally
felony sex
unstable.
offender violations with a child. Allegedly, Handy's case prompted Nickelodeon to toughen its background checks for all employees, trying to prevent this from happening again. Yet
Happened 3 more
this was not
times.
even close to the last time a pedophile would infiltrate.
One of them happened to be black. Wow, look at that, black.
Nickelodeon's network. Actor Drake Bell formed a bond with the dialogue coach Brian Peck during the 2nd season of The Amanda
Probably
Show.
jail. Wait. No. Oh, wait. No, never mind. These are the kid actors. Never mind.
Peck, who has no relation to Drake's co-star Josh Peck, would invite Drake to his house for acting lessons. These lessons were
Or maybe I don't know. He probably is.
Supervised by Drake's father, Joe, who was told that Brian Peck was a skilled coach who would help Drake secure more acting opportunities. However, over time, Joe became uncomfortable with their relationship.
And unfortunately, I started seeing Brian start to just hang around Drake too much. And it didn't set well with me. Drake would be in the dressing room or something, and in would pop Brian and just touch Drake. Do things that, wait a second, what are you doing? Drake can put that on himself. And the thing is, he's making fun of people.
Joe expressed his concerns with production personnel and said he was uncomfortable with Brian.
Don't mind if I do proceed to help him put on his show. That is a little weird.
To be called homophobic because of Brian's sexual orientation. Therefore, Joe backed off. Once this got back to Brian...
No. Just because you're gay, I truly believe everyone should be treated the same, and regardless on whether you're straight, bi, gay, straight, bi, whatever, if you're a freaking sexual predator, you are a sexual predator. You should be treated as such.
Drake into several,
regardless on whether you're gay or not.
Ties with his father/manager, suggesting that Joe...
honestly, most predators and pedophiles usually tend to happen to be bi. For the most part.
Sabotaging Drake's career, Peck subsequently integrated himself into multiple areas of Bell's life and became a father figure for the young actor. Eventually, Peck convinces Drake's mother to let him stay at his house during auditions. These predators entice the children with fame and fortune, convince them that their parents are trying to...
Isn't that freaking, what's his name? Leonardo? Is that Leonardo DiCaprio? I don't know.
Then totally isolate them and do who knows what behind closed doors. It's likely that all the kids...
Man, he looked young for his age. Even now, he doesn't look bad. Let me see. How do you even spell Leonardo? Oh, here we go. 51. Yeah, not bad. Well, he looks kind of looks like Michael from, not there. This one, he kind of looks like Michael from GTA.
out unscathed were because of parents who stepped in and removed their child from the situation before it was too late. However, the more popular the actor was, such as Drake Bell, the more difficult it became to remove them from the industry. Sadly, with Brian Peck and Drake Bell, we do know what happened behind closed doors. When Drake slept on Brian's couch, the sexual assault began.
Sleeping on the couch where I would usually sleep, and I woke up to him. I just opened my eyes, I woke up, and he was sexually assaulting me.
How so? How so?
Why don't you think of the worst stuff that someone can do to somebody as a sexual assault? And that'll answer your question.
Drake wouldn't tell anyone for several
yeah, okay. I think I see where he's going with that.
months. The abuse persisted until Drake began spending more time at a girlfriend's house. One day, when he was supposed to meet with Brian, Drake said he did not want to hang out. Brian then started calling his phone nonstop. When Drake failed to answer, Brian obsessively started calling his girlfriend's house, which is when the girlfriend's mother suspected something was wrong and took Drake to her family therapist. He later detailed the abuse to his own mother, who called the police. I had to be excruciatingly detailed about every single thing and time that it had happened with two absolute strangers. The worst part was I had to make a phone call to Brian and get him to admit to what he'd done. The police monitored a wired phone call with Brian, who broke into a full-on confession that led to his arrest. The investigation was conducted privately and Bell remained unidentified.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a freaking pedophile, you know?
To the public for several years due to his age at that time. Drake did tell Dan Schneider about this situation right before the trial.
And when Drake and I talked and he told me what had happened, I was more devastated.
I was more devastated than ever before. Shut the hell up. You could care less about whether he was molested or not. You don't care. As long as I make the money in, as long as my foot fetishes keep being foot fetishes.
Devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. And I told him, I'm here for you.
No, you're not.
But Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, Dan, I'm not good with words like you are. And
good with words like you are. Okay, wow.
Would you help me with my
Stop crying, baby. You wanted... I shouldn't be laughing. You wanted this to happen, I'm not going to say it. You wanted this to happen, man. You wanted this to happen. Maybe there was a part, a small part that generally felt bad. But for the most part, you wanted it to happen because you keep racking up the money so you could... Maybe you had some debt thing with like Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. Like freaking mobsters and the mob. Did you know that the mob... I don't know. I'm trying to think of something good. Did you know that the mob controls Dan Schneider's financial assets?
Of course, I did.
During Brian Peck's trial, numerous prominent figures in the entertainment industry wrote letters of support vouching for his character, including James Marsden, Taran Killam, Growing Pains star Alan Thicke, Boy Meets World actors Will Friedle.
But they're all still Hollywood actors, so that they're the problem. They're the problem. They need to leave Hollywood. Hollywood is an evil business, and they need to go. They need to go do their business elsewhere. Universal no. All of them bad. Universal, no, because they're all Hollywood. That's right. That's the only way you could be a prominent actor and make lots of money and fame. That's the only way through Hollywood.
Strong, among others. Some of these figures, including Friedle,
even if you're not from the U.S.,
have since expressed their regret over writing the letters and stated that they were manipulated by Peck's misinformation. Brian Peck was convicted of child molestation in 2004, pleading no contest to a charge of oral copulation with a minor.
What the No, they could just say what he did, not freaking oral corpulation. What?
And a charge of performing a lewd act with a 14 or 15-year-old. He spent only 16 months in prison and was mandated to register as a sex offender. And if you were surprised at that abysmally low sentencing, Peck got out and secured a job working for Disney's The Suite Life of Zack and Cody in 2006. Where he voiced London Tipton's talking mirror for 3 episodes. The Disney Channel hired a...
Why? They hired him? A registered sex offender.
Sex offender. Despite these horrible circumstances, Drake remained in the industry and would go on to star alongside Josh Peck in their legendary buddy comedy, Drake and Josh, which again caused the network's ratings to explode to new heights. The series premiere was watched
yes, more money, more foot, more feet, more feet, more feet.
by 3.2 million viewers, the network's highest rated series premiere in nearly 10 years. Drake and Josh episodes regularly saw viewership upwards of 5, 6, 7 million. As of 2006, the show ranked consistently.
2006, the best year ever, where Guitar Hero ruled the world.
Most
the Xbox 360. Now that was 2007 technically, but still.
Cable shows across all of television, and you could just add Zoe 101 to the list of Dan's dominant programs, which saw an average of 3 million viewers per episode. It was on the set of Zoe 101 where even more photos emerged of Dan getting a little too comfortable with the cat.
Yeah, I mean, look at his...
Aaron's.
Okay, my phone's 20%. Okay, I think I should be good. Yeah, look at his face. I am a creepy man. I am a creepy Jewish man named Dan Schneider.
Sanders, who was merely a child being held and coddled on Dan's lap. You can also see this photo where Dan's hand is resting on...
Oh my god! Look at that! Why?
Lower back.
His face! He knows what he knows what he's doing.
Zoe 101 also had 34 different kissing scenes across its 4 seasons. While this may not seem that strange for a teen drama show, it did often lead to underage female actresses kissing over 18-year-old males. Brando Eaton was 20 years old and Victoria Justice was 14.
What's scary is, actually, yeah, she does look kind of young. He looks young. Weird. I don't know, like, that's what I mean. If I think things could generally work with like a 14, 15-year-old and an 18, 19-year-old. There has to be mutual respect and agreement. Like, it can't be forced like this.
At this time also had to kiss Jaren Vosberg, who was 18. And get this, 12-year-old Jamie Lynn Spears had to kiss 22-year-old Justin Timberlake on the set of All That. And Justin dated Britney Spears, which is Jamie's sister, 3 years earlier. Also, this Zoe 101 scene resurfaced recently, and many believe it to be a sexual innuendo. Spears' co-star, Alexa Nicolas, recalled Dan a crew member squirt the syringe of goo at Spears over and over again. It's also important to remember that all of the information that you now know from this video was totally unknown by the public at the time. All the allegations and predatory behavior was all silenced before they could ever reach headlines. Barely any media outlets were reporting on why pedophiles were allowed to work on set. Survivors were scared to speak their truth, and even if they wanted to, they would have to go through a publicist or rely on a potentially corrupt media outlet to tell their story the right way.
Hollywood pedophiles. Yeah. Shoot, I almost forgot. Okay, this actually might be a little longer than an hour, maybe. Because I just remembered my room is a huge freaking... My room is a... Like, look... Hold up. Like, look at this. Look at this. My room is a freaking mess. And I gotta clean it up, man. Let's see. I mean, what else can I talk about? Hope you can hear me well. Oh yeah. I usually do like the YouTube updates on like whenever I make a live stream or whatever, but I don't know. Like, for the longest time, I thought in some way, shape, or form I was gonna get paid for doing this kind of stuff, but no, that's never gonna happen. So. Well, let's see, where can I put this? I'll just put books here. You know what? Actually, I will be right back. I'm gonna get something to eat, so I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Told you it wouldn't take long. Yeah, let's just keep going.
Hey, all anyone saw was the final product on television, so we assumed everything was consensual.
See how much I could do.
The best
See how much I could do. Within 10 or so minutes.
Interest of the children in mind. Even if the network was suspicious of Dan and his production staff, which they weren't, they were going to do anything and everything to protect his reputation because Nickelodeon was red hot. At this point, they had been the #1 network in viewers aged 2 to 11 for over a decade.
Who? Who's gonna watch freaking Who's gonna watch freaking iCarly at 2? Well, I mean, they did have little kid shows, but still.
Millions of viewers and billions of dollars.
Adults! A lot of adults watch SpongeBob, believe it or not, because there are a lot of sexual jokes and innuendo. Can't say that word. Innuendo.
Had more power than ever and was about to unleash all of his sick fantasies through iCarly. The basic premise of iCarly was that Carly Shay, played by previous Drake and Josh co-star Miranda Cosgrove, and her friends Sam and Freddie, played by Jeanette McCurdy and Nathan Kress, produce a web show from Carly's older brother's apartment. The show resonated with the real-world rise of online content creation and the growing influence of social media platforms like YouTube during the 2000s. The show within a show encouraged fan interaction by incorporating
when YouTube used to be good.
Segments that invited viewers to participate.
Which only lasted for like a year because that's when Google bought YouTube.
In the show's interactive elements. Additionally, the characters often responded to fan mail and viewer submissions on their web show, further blurring the lines between fiction and reality. Like, take a look at this time they called a 12-year-old fan.
Do you have any questions for Sydney? I follow your Twitter.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
I'm 12. And Dan Schneider's over here filming it. I love 12-year-old little girls' voices. My foot fetish.
You're 12?
Yeah.
I'm like a little over double that. Yeah, Jerry's all old. So what do you like about iCarly?
I love it. It's really funny.
Anything else you want to know about iCarly? Any questions or anything?
No.
No, you're all set? No. You know what I know. Would you like us to get on a plane and come to your house?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Thank God. Thank God, Dan.
Okay.
Dan himself often communicated directly with fans on his blog, danwarp.blogspot.com.
Even worse. God. If there's censorship anywhere on the internet, it's gotta be for people like this.
Where he gave behind-the-scenes information and did Q&As. He also started giving tons of behind-the-scenes clips to his Dan Warp YouTube channel.
Which is fine if, because I feel like all this is just for masturbation sessions, honestly.
On the cast's
with his wife being there. Oh, can I join you? Oh, yeah. Fetishes. Oh.
Comfortability around him.
What? It wouldn't be a video for iCarly if I didn't do this to you. I know. Oh, God. What are you doing?
I don't know.
What's going on? What are you wearing today? Who did your outfit? I've had too much caffeine.
Don't do anything with this footage. Please, it's so lame.
Did you know that the average adult American male has 18 hairs on each of his toes? What happens when it gets late?
Wait, what?
Seriously. 18 hairs?
It's so lame.
Did you know that the average adult American male has 18 hairs on each of his toes?
Is that Grok AI? Is that true?
What happens when it gets late? Yeah, seriously. Let us go home, Dan. We would be home if you had gotten some of your lines right earlier in the day, right? Am I right? Yeah.
Dan is just a freaking idiot. He's a dumbass crybaby. Sorry if I'm not really talking that much. Because I want to try to eat as much as I can for the next, 10 minutes, and I'm eating.
Yeah, who's embarrassed now? Who's embarrassed? No.
Post that all in your face!
I'm scared.
Jeanette. Susie made Paige once come out. Yeah, if you could...
And they wear all this makeup and they should look like kids. They should look like kids. And then that's where you can come and say that I'm going against woke and all this stuff. I'm not. All I'm saying is I think kids should be kids, first of all. And second of all, kids should look like kids. I don't care if you're gay, straight, trans, whatever. You should look, if you're young and you're a child, you should look like a child. You should not have to I mean, if you want to, sure, go ahead, but that's not normal. It's not natural.
Pool with get out of here. Wants to know if you could fill a pool with anything you like and swim in it. What would it be and why?
Semen!
Confetti, because it's a celebration.
No, I like to swim in a big pool of Coke. You know, Coca-Cola.
Okay, that makes no sense. Miranda. What? I didn't ask the question.
Oh, I heard. I was thinking this whole time.
Okay, the question is, if you wanted me to hit you with a bottle of something, what would it be? Pineapple juice? Okay, here it comes. That's why I'm in Hollywood.
Eat your cereal, kids.
Did you say nice things about me?
God, just the way he looks, too.
If necessary. I have the taser. We haven't had to use it in a long time.
I said lots of nice things.
Oh, I said nice.
Use him on when the girls are misbehaving in bed. I want to see your feet. Give me your feet.
That's gonna get on TV. That's gonna get on TV.
In these clips, you can get a glimpse of Dan's unpredictability. I mean, just look at how Miranda steps away from Dan as he proceeds to make his way around her back, and then hugs her from behind as she stands awkwardly still.
Wow.
As you can see, while Dan is shoving a camera in these actors' faces, they are often confused.
Yeah, but most vlogging channels happen to do that.
Is he joking?
It's literally the same freaking thing.
Is he angry? Is he creepy? Is he going to touch them or grab them? They look extremely uncertain around him as he talks to them like a classic jester. But iCarly was a massive success for the network throughout its 6 seasons from 2007 to 2012. The pilot episode debuted on...
And another show that I never watched, matter of fact. I did watch a lot of Victorious. I think that was like the only one I've ever watched. I know. I should watch iCarly. I should. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, what's worse, promoting Nickelodeon or promoting Disney? Because all of it's the same in my eyes.
Nickelodeon to an audience of 4.1 million, followed by the second episode on the same day with 3.9 million viewers. The show was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Children's Program 5 times, and averaged 4.6 million viewers throughout its time on Nickelodeon. Somehow, Dan managed to outdo Drake and Josh. But looking back on the show, many of the jokes and innuendos were more blatant than we remember.
How long?
3.2 seconds.
That's the longest it's ever taken me to beat me. Wow!
Or how about the sack, which was Dan making fun of the Snuggie.
You're just sitting on your
The
couch
Snuggie?
trying to polish your bowling ball, but your blade
I'm trying to polish my bowling ball. Look at me polishing my bowling ball.
it keeps flying off your body.
Oh, my blanket keeps flying off my body.
Like, are we reading into it too much, or is polishing your ball while advertising the sack not strategic? They mentioned that the sack
The sack. Dan Schneider's an idiot.
comes in 4 different colors.
The sack comes in rash red, mucus green, pus yellow, or blue.
His shows are always
Ew.
close-ups of
Oh yeah, blue balls. Like what? I don't know what that means. Is that when you're like nervous or?
putting cast members in predicaments where they have to touch each other's feet. Nobody...
Why can't I? Why? Why do you have to blow all this? Cause YouTube says so. Yeah, well you could freaking upload terrorist videos and freaking animal cruelty videos and not be restricted.
He thinks feet are this funny, especially not for them to be such a recurring bit in a television show. Many have pointed out that the Nickelodeon logo at one point was a foot, suggesting that Dan's influence was so strong he got them to change their logo momentarily to his fetish. I even found something on his blog that was particularly interesting. He had a segment called Fun Facts on his blog where he would go through an iCarly script and talk about tiny little details and why they matter. Like this one where he refers to Sam's necklace and how it's made of the same plastic that the antique radios that he collects are made out of. I mention this because it proves that there are no coincidences with what you see on screen. No matter how small or insignificant it may seem, Dan put it there on purpose. In the same episode, which is called I Date a Bad Boy, Dan says, scenes begin with Carly and Sam cutting a boy's hair. We see the first of 2 penny teas in this 1-hour episode. This one on Sam says, noodle booty. What does noodle booty mean? Why did Dan specifically point out her shirt and want us to know what it says? In another blog,
Because she's a woman, she's a underage minor, and she happens to have really good, really nice boobies.
post, he specifically points out one of his intentionally inappropriate jokes.
I mean, wouldn't he have known all this was going to be leaked? I mean, it's like Jeffrey Epstein. He knew that the files were going to be leaked eventually. That's why he killed himself. But wait, according to the information that I've researched and gathered, he in fact did not kill himself. He was killed by the mob.
One where he wrote a joke where an adult woman sexualizes 17-year-old Nathan Kress. Dan writes, on the first few takes when Jane said her line, "Hey, those pants fit you real good," she was looking at the front of his pants. I had the director step in quietly and tell her that, because this is for Nickelodeon, we'd prefer she look at the back of his pants on that line. Winky face. I guess Dan thinks that complimenting a young boy's butt is somehow more appropriate. Additionally, take a look at the
slightly is, I suppose,
his 2010 blog post where he discusses adults who watch iCarly. He writes, there are around 150 people who work on iCarly, and none of us approach it like we're making a kids show. We make iCarly no differently than if we were writing and producing a primetime half-hour comedy for NBC, CBS, or any one of the major broadcasters.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it was pretty much the same thing, just minus the swearing. Because, you know, obviously, like, they're not going to swear it's freaking kids show.
Works. This statement directly contradicts what he said while addressing the Quiet on Set documentary.
Some people think some of those jokes are inappropriate for children. What do you think of that? Every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny and only funny.
So Dan, are the jokes for adults, like you said 10 years ago on your blog, or are they for kids, like you just said recently when the pressure is at an all-time high? It was
No, they're for kids. They're for kids. I'm not lying. I'm not lying, man. I'm not. Why would I lie? You're black. You're a black man. I would never lie to you. I love my brother. I love my brothers. I love my brothers. Anyway, I think that's enough for me. Have a good night. Have a good night, guys. This is just too many brain cells. I've lost too many brain cells from this.